Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Sorry, 2 videos in one day. You have to forgive me, but since the whole Psychic Awakening is building up to the launch of the sister box set, the Faith and Fury stuff, this week is going to be jam-packed with mostly Imperium/chaotic articles. And of course, the first one we got was a glorious preview. One of the content, which is going to be in the Faith and Fury book, but also a couple of rule previews. Well, I say rule previews, stratagem previews and stuff like that. So let's jump in and let's get talking about them. Okay, so let's start with the content, actually, of the Faith and Fury book, because as you can see, there is quite a few things to go over. So first things we got Taladus. That's mainly going to be like all the lore, like Battleground of Faith and stuff like that. You got the missions, which of course is all the missions you get to play. They'll have certain, you start here, you do this, certain objectives and stuff like that. Now, underneath that, Objectives to Start is page 30. Master of the Chapter 32. Is that about Chapter Masters? That's the only thing I can think of. First thing that jumps to my head. Chapter Litanies. Now, we know the chapters which are supposed to be in here are, of course, White Scars, Black Templars, and, of course, the Sons of Vulcan, the Salamanders as well. But they've also made it aware that, this will also work with other chapters. So I'm really looking forward to see what after all this is. So, again, Chapter Litanies. I've always been a massive fan of Litanies. Master of Sanctity. We'll get into that in a minute. Master of the Forge, Chief Librarian, Chief Apothecary, Chief Agent, Chapter Champion. Now, this really interests me because, as we'll see in a minute when we go into about the chapter, the Master of Sanctity, you kind of get a kind of a bonus, and I'm thinking, could you make a certain character a chapter champion? I would love to have my chapter champion that I custom made with my sword and shield. I know Primaris can't take shields, but hopefully there's something like that in this book that can upgrade me or do anything like amazing. I'm not holding my breath. It's just me just basically going down the rabbit hole as I always do. Right, the next big thing in this book was probably the biggest thing in this book, if you're an Imperial player, is the Black Templar stuff. Black Templars get from page 40 to 55. Now, looking at all this stuff here, Black Templars get more love than the Crimson Fist do. Going off how many pages are dedicated to the Black Templars, you definitely get more stuff than the Crimson Fist. This begs the question, why in the Emperor's name was this not put in the Imperial Fist Supplement Codex? And I think it's really easy to make that aware once you just look at it a couple of seconds. It's mostly down to money. They knew that if they put Black Templars in this book, it would sell. But kind of, they maybe shoot themselves in the foot, because a lot of Black Templar people have been saying to me and messaging me and stuff, since the Black Templar stuff has not been put in the Imperial Fist Supplement, and they've kind of put it, well, they're not kind of, since they put it in this Faith and Fury book, then they're not going to be buying it, because they don't want to be shelling out for 2 sets of books. They should have just put us in the first book. They're just doing this to make money off us, and I can't blame them for that. If they don't want to do it, then they don't want to do it. I'm more or less going to be buying this book for the actual lore side of it, because I'm really hoping that it'll start mentioning stuff like where High Marshal Helbrecht is, where Grimaldus is, what they've been doing since Hell's Reach, all that kind of awesome stuff. Hopefully that'll be mentioned in here in some kind of format. Right, so we've got Heroes of the Black Templars on 42. That's going to be lore, I think. Zealous Crusaders, that's going to be lore. Now we've got the data sheets. Now we've got High Marshal Helbrecht, which we already, well, I went over in my stream last night, which was a nice little preview. The Emperor's Champion, I'm really hoping that this has the Primaris keyword in it. When we come to look at it, if it doesn't have the Primaris keyword, then I will be a bit of a sad boy, because the Primaris are this new big thing. I'm not saying that the Firstborn Marines are going away. I'm just saying that the Primaris are in the Black Templars. So, it would make sense if one of them would eventually become an Emperor's Champion. Chaplain Grimaldus, of course, probably the most well-known and well-liked character when it comes to Black Templars. You've got the Servitors, you've got the Crusader squads on 48. I'm not really hoping anything Primaris-wise for them, especially not Servitors. Litanies of the Devout. Now, from the rumours we've been having around this, is that Black Templars would be getting their own litanies, and that's what it looks like on here, so I'm really looking forward to see them. The Warlord traits, we've got stratagems, Crusader relics, point values, tactical objectives, and name generator. It's basically everything that the Imperial Fist got, everything that the Crimson Fist got. It's just in this book. GW, I think you've made a massive blunder. I think you should have just put all this stuff in the normal Imperial Fist Codex supplement book, and maybe in this book just add a few more, stratagems in there, maybe a little bit more lore, maybe, I don't know, some relics and stuff, and that could have enticed the people to go out and buy it. I just hate this whole thing of splitting the Sons of Dawn over 2 books when it wasn't even needed. It's kind of gets on my nerves a little bit. Now, as you can see, the main thing in this book is the Heretic Astartes, and it's broken up into different sections. So you've got the Word Bearers, Warlord, Trait, Stratagem, Artifacts, Tactical Objectives, and Name Generators. Night Lords, again, you've got the Warlord, Trait, Stratagems, Artifact, Tactical Objectives, Name Generators. Alpha Legion have the same. Iron Warriors, Warlord, Trait, Stratagems, Artifact, Tactical Objectives, Name Generator. I can come up with a name generator straight away for an Iron Warrior. It's called Stuffy Mac Pillow, because that's all they do is just turn into tactical pillows and start crying because they're just so weak. Emperor's Children, Warlord Traits, Stratagems, Artifacts, Tactical Objectives, and Name Generators. And of course, World Eaters, Warlord Traits, Stratagems, Artifacts, Tactical Objectives, and of course, Name Generator. So this book for me is mostly going to be a chaos book. I'm going to say it. It's chaos. I think there's more in here for the chaos stuff than there is for the Black Templars. I know there's been a lot of discussion from chaos players saying, "Oh my God, Space Marines are so powerful. Where is all our love?" Maybe this is the time where you start getting that love. I really, really hope they still get the supplement books though, like further down the road, like maybe next year or something, because I think every faction like the Space Marines deserves their supplements that we got. I'm moving on to, for example, a stratagem that was shown off, and this is what I mean by the Master of Sanctity, and we have the Master of Sanctity on the Adeptus Astartes thing, where it's kind of a bonus. So if you use a stratagem for 1 command point, it says use a stratagem before the battle, select 1 chaplain model from your army that is not a named character, so you can't use it on Grimaldus. Until the end of the battle, that model gains Master of Sanctity keyword and the following ability. The Master of Sanctity, this model knows 1 additional litany from the litanies of battle and can recite 1 additional litany at the start of the battle round. You can only use this stratagem once per battle, and your army cannot include 2 Masters of Sanctity from the same chapter. So I absolutely love chaplains and their litanies, especially with Imperial Fist, the AP stuff. You can get the charging stuff. It can really be effective. There was always a thing when I come to pick it, should I pick that one or should I pick that one? Well, technically now I can have 2 of them. Well, if I pass the rolls and stuff, I can have 2 of them. So I really, really like that. I really like that I can have 2, and that brings more devastation, more brutal effect for my Space Marine force on the battlefield. And now another thing they've shown off is High Scholar of the Librarius. Now I think this is pretty nice. To be completely fair, I haven't really been taking Librarians in my armies that much. I've rather been taking like a lieutenant or another captain for the rerolls, because the amount of devastation you can put on your enemy when you fire in, especially in an Imperial Fist shooting phase, because we ignore cover, our 6s generate additional hits, the minus with heavy weapons, or just imagine Stalker Bolters, it can be absolutely ruthless. But maybe this can kind of change a couple of people's minds. I don't think it's going to change my mind. It says this warlord can generate psychic powers from any discipline that they know powers from, rather than generating psychic powers from only 1 discipline. So if you are a kind of a person that likes to bring psychers, maybe this is for you. Maybe making him your warlord. Not really for me. I'd rather have my chapter master as a warlord and getting, all you can reroll all hit rolls and stuff like that, because again, shooting as Imperial Fist is where all the action is. Now, the next one, I had to read this twice because I got really overexcited because I thought you could put this onto a vehicle. I was like, oh my God, I can have this on a vehicle, but no. This is called Master of the Forge, and it says Master of the Forge model only. Add 1 to the toughness of the characteristics of a model with this relic. A model with this relic has a 4+ invulnerable save. So again, a 4+ invulnerable save is not to be to put your nose up at. It's pretty good. And of course, adding 1 to the toughness. That's why I got so excited, because I thought, my God, can I add 1 toughness to my execution tank and give it a 4+ invulnerable save? I shall never be moved off the battlefield. I'm sorry, I misread that. Anyway, what we've got next is, of course, more demons. Well, I say more demon dust. Chaos stuff. Finally, we're seeing some chaos stuff. So it actually mentions in the article, it says, demon weapons embody the truly nature of chaos perfectly, offering you enormous power. It goes into some details. It says a demon prince of Khorne armed with Zale, which you've seen in the background now. The rifle could, with a lucky roll, be throwing out 6 strength, 13 attack, each dealing 2 damage at AP -5 in close combat. Can I just say, if the dice gods are with you, is Khorne is with you doing that, then that is absolutely disgusting, and I hate you until the end of time. But as you can see, the Zale, the Wrathful, it's melee, strength user, AP -5, damages 2, and the ability is when rolling for this weapon, weapons demon ability, on a 2+, add a number to this weapon's strength characteristics equal to result until the end of that phase. So that is very brutal, I think. That is going to, if you get that into melee combat, that could just easily wipe out anything that comes across in just one attack phase. Unless you've got something that's absolutely beastly, that just, all his rerolls, he's got invulnerable saves, he saves them all, then yeah, that's probably the only way you've got to be surviving that. But it can come at a cost, because the demon weapon says here, in the fight phase, when this model is chose to fight for with the first time in that phase, roll 1d6. On a 1, that model suffers 1 mortal wound and cannot use this weapon further that phase. On a 2+, a model can fight with the weapon as normal. So hopefully, by the Emperor's glorious grace, that when they attack me with it, they all roll 1s, and then I'll just laugh. I'll laugh as I send my glorious Emperor's Champion in to decapitate the horrid Chaos Heretic. Alright, Chaperonios, that is me done for another video. I'll be back throughout the week, of course, covering all this stuff. I'm really hoping that we get to see the Emperor's Champion stat sheet, because again, keyword Primaris, I need it on there. Maybe you can have it, you can have it Primaris and you don't have to have it Primaris. Just give us the option, GW. Come on now. There's no Black Templar Primaris at all. At least let the Emperor's Champion to have something Primaris wise, so I can kit bash a model and make it look fantastic so it fits into my bloody last wall force and all that kind of stuff. Right, I'm stopping rambling. Let me know your thoughts and feedbacks and everything like we normally always go down in the comment section. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. Have a great night. See you now, and bye-bye.